I've been lifting weights for years, but just by looking at me, you'd probably never guess that. That's because over the years, I have made plenty of mistakes that have kept me where I'm at and left me in this predicament that I'm in. But I think now I am finally to give it another go, and hopefully this time around I can do things right and actually get myself where I want to be. But I've been lifting weights for what seems like forever now. I think since freshman year of high school, PE class and baseball workouts were probably my first real introduction to weightlifting, and I actually ended up liking it so much that I would start going in my own time to the weight room after school to work out, trying out the things that I had learned on fitness YouTube, and I obviously wanted to keep working out over summer, so me and some friends, we'd get Planet Fitness memberships, and we'd go there just about every morning over the summer, work out for a couple hours since we didn't have much else going on. So with me, at least I tend to hyperfixate on new things that I find that I like. I've done that ever since I was little. But back then, I kind of took a pretty deep dive into fitness and became my biggest focus at the time. But I mean, really finding weightlifting for me, I saw it as a path to kind of fix, at least I thought I would fix my biggest insecurity back then, which was being really skinny. It's kind of really affected my confidence and kind of shut me down. But that just had me, I mean, seeing it as a path had me very excited to just keep going to the gym and working out every single day. And then, of course, once I started seeing the slightest bit of progress, whether that be on my weight scale or on the amount of weight I could lift, that's what really did me in and got me hooked. But I kept working out throughout high school up until now, off and on. I did have some really good stretches where I had stayed pretty consistent and actually got pretty strong for how big I was. I think at one point I was like 10 pounds off of a 2.5 times body weight squat, which would have been really impressive, and I was going for it. But I did kind of fall off again at that point, and since then I've tried multiple times to get back there, and I failed every time. And that's why I am restarting, because I do still have that drive to get to where I once was, and then also hopefully even surpass that. This time, I do believe I have more time on my hands to learn new things, try stuff out, as well as a healthier mindset to give myself a better approach to diet and fitness as a whole. This time around, I am going to be finding some new programs to tailor them for myself, to give myself, just to have them reflect the goals I'm going for a little better. And also, I'm going to be transitioning myself into just a more overall simpler meal plan to just make things simpler, not overcomplicate anything, just to make it really easy on myself. But most importantly of all, I just got to stay consistent. Far and away, that has been the biggest killer of mine, is consistency. Is anytime life would get in the way, I would just wind up missing a couple days here and there, and those days would turn into weeks, those weeks would turn into months, and before I knew it, I was just completely screwed. Anytime I have to restart from there, it was just like restarting from square one. It sucked. So as long as I don't horribly injure myself, knock on wood, I can't be doing that. I've got to make sure that I'm getting myself into the gym week after week. I cannot be coping anymore. But moving forward, I plan on making some goals for myself next week, maybe drawing up a game plan of sorts for just what I want the rest of this year to kind of look like for myself, what exactly I do want to accomplish. I'm going to look at my training split that I'm currently doing and make some little tweaks to it to just kind of more closely reflect what exactly I'm going for now. And I'm probably going to stick with that for a couple more months, and then I'm going to reassess from there, see what's been working for me, what hasn't been doing so good for me, and I'll just kind of go from there and see what I want to jump to next. I'll probably go over a little more in depth into that training split and just my style of training in a later video. But again, for dieting, I'm not doing anything specific right now. I'm just kind of consciously trying to make sure I am eating a little bit more to build my appetite back up. I am also focusing on limiting any processed junk food, anything I'm eating. I'm gonna try to slowly phase that stuff out and just kind of alter my diet over the next couple months with a little more research just to get that to overall a place that I'm happy with. My training and diet were never perfect in the past. I'm well aware of that. Ultimately, I think what's held me back and done the most harm to me is just my lack of consistency. If you have any advice for me in the comments on what you do to stay consistent in the gym, I'll gladly read it if you want to write it down below. But for you, I think, and for me, you just got to know that shit's gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to go to the gym every single day you plan to, but you just gotta get back to it as soon as you can. You just can't keep pushing it off forever and ever, or you're just gonna make things a whole hell of a lot harder on yourself. And trust me, I know that firsthand because that's been the last few years of my life now. Anyways, I am really happy to finally be back on this journey again. I've had this dream to have this body for way too long now, and I would love for you to come learn with me along the way. I do think this is my chance to do things right this time, and if you're in a same or similar boat that I am, this could be your chance too. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Later.